There are 6 movements in the game of basketball. 6 movements. Hold the ball, please. Players sprint, they backpedal, they defensive slide, they pivot, they jump, and they lunge. Those are the 6 primary movements. My goal is to try to get as many of those 6 movements in every warm-up that I can. So the day and age, and this is even how I grew up, and I'm not that old, our coach would just tell us to jog around the gym 10 times, and then we'd sit at midcourt on our ass and pretend to stretch for 10 minutes, and that was our warm-up. And then he couldn't figure out why we weren't ready to compete at the highest level. That does nothing to get anybody prepared. So I want to start taking these guys through a very active, movement-based warm-up. My goal at the end of 10 minutes, and again, keep in mind for the clinic format, it'll last longer than 10 minutes because I'm sharing so many things. These guys should be in absolute full sweat. They should be loose and ready to go. They should be mentally sharp and physically ready to compete. All right, first thing we're going to do, we'll just do everything from midcourt and back. We want to get some spring in your legs, we want you to be elastic. We're going to skip, and you're going to touch the ball to your belly button and the back of your neck. So you're simply going to skip and get some rhythm. When you get to midcourt, then skip backwards. Anything movement-based you can do forward, I need you to do back. Go! There you go. Literally touch the back of your neck. And touch your belly button. Skip back. Get some rhythm going. Basketball is a rhythm sport. Shooting is a rhythm skill. Basketball is played front to back, it's played side to side, and it's played with rotation. Those are our 3 planes of motion. So we want to make sure we're going through all 3 planes of motion with everything we do. Now we'll put the ball up as high as you can, and you're going to sway side to side as you skip. So sway side to side as you skip. Go! And of course, do the same thing coming back. Now let's set the ball like you just got an elbow, just got a rebound, and let's twist 180 degrees as we skip. Go! This stuff is tremendous to do with younger players like these kids over here. It's a great way to build coordination, great way to build rhythm and balance. Excellent. We're going to do the same 3-hand position, but we'll do it facing the coaches this time. And now we'll just get an easy gallop. So it's not really a defensive slide per se. You're just loosening up your groin, getting some lateral movement. So our first one is our chops. Ready? Go! Basketball is multi-directional, so we need to make sure our players can move front to back. We need to make sure they can move laterally. Now you guys should know what the next one is. See if you can figure it out. We've established a pattern. There we go. You know it's looking working. That's why he's the pro. That's why he's the pro. And then you should go to the last one as well. Yep, good job, guys. Yeah, full twist. Proper movement and footwork is something players can be conditioned to do and conditioned to improve. Excellent, excellent job. Okay, this time, now again, we want to be nice and light and elastic on our feet. So keep the ball at chin height. And all you're going to do is you're going to jump forward and jump back. So progressively moving forward. But I want you to imagine that the ground is hot, so you're spending as little time on the ground as possible. When you get to about the 3-point line, you can just dribble it out. Just dribble it out. Send the ball out. Ready? Go! Light and bounce. Light and bounce. Forward is hot. Keep bouncing the elastic, soft feet. Just dribble it out. Yep. Now we're doing the same thing. We're coming backwards. So now you're going back to forward. Back to forward. When you get to roughly the 3-point line, let's get a reverse dribble. Let's get a retreat dribble on the way back. Go! Light and bouncy, light and bouncy. There you go. Excellent job. Let's face our coaches. Same thing. Now we're just going right to left. And then this time, again, we get kind of an aggressive crab dribble. Crab dribble or power dribble for my bigs. I'm just going to kind of lob the ball. It'll bounce somewhere in this general direction. I want you to accelerate, sprint, catch it with a jump stop. So I want you to freeze in this position here. As we talked about yesterday, you have 4 pivots that you can do. You can front pivot on your left, you can front pivot on your right, you can reverse pivot on your left, you can reverse pivot on your right. I want you to do, we're going to go 4 times, so get one of each pivot. As soon as you turn around, whichever pivot you do first, fire off the pass to your partner. Fire off the pass. So you just watch you guys switching one right now. Yep. Perfect feet, and pass, yep. You sprint back, now you do for him. Perfect. Yep. All right, go ahead, guys. Get 4 of them so you get one of each. One of each pivot. One of each pivot. One of you guys over here, guys. Much better job than we do at teaching footwork, especially in the rugby league. This is a major problem in United States basketball. Is the coaches that are working with younger players are not teaching footwork to the degree that it needs to be taught. Footwork is something that absolutely, positively can be trained and can be conditioned. I think it's the most under-taught area in the game of basketball, at least in the States. And footwork, proper footwork, can make up for a multitude of sins. If you have players that weren't born with the athleticism of a Russell Westbrook, which let's admit, 99.9% of the population was not, footwork can make up for that. Footwork and efficient feet can make up for a lot of that. You take a player like Paul Pierce, you take Tim Duncan, or obviously the German sensation Dirk Nowitzki. I mean, yes, those guys, I mean, they're big, strong guys, and I'm not acting like they weren't born with some natural gifts. But generally speaking, as far as the NBA is concerned, all 3 of those guys were probably in the lower third of just raw athleticism in the NBA. And you're talking about 3 of the best scorers in the history of the game. History of the game. And all 3 of those guys can get any shot they want from anywhere they want, anytime they want. And a good portion of it is because they have perfect feet. So we need to make sure that we're training perfect feet. That's the other reason that I love the warm-up. It's a daily chance for you to reincorporate or reinforce what you want your players to do. So you don't have to take 30, 40 minutes out of every practice to teach footwork. Make sure you're taking 2 or 3 minutes every single day to incorporate it. Now, we could add an entire series to this. And this, again, is where I would use your expertise, not mine. We could have any type of data set series. Now, I know the rules in FIBA are different from the States, and that's why I think a lot of Americans come over here and travel every time they touch the ball, right? Because your rules for when you have to put the ball down. So I'm not even going to go there. What we'll do is we'll go through that circuit one more time, but this time instead of passing the ball back, I want you to make some type of aggressive offensive moves, whether you're going to rip the ball through, whatever you do, and dribble back in 1 or 2 dribbles instead of passing it back. So let's just watch you 2 guys who imagine there's a defender on you. Yep. Perfect. Yep. Same thing for you. Go ahead. There you go. Perfect. All right, so let's get all 4 pivots. One more time. All 4 pivots. One more time. Everything we do, I'd like to be able to level up. So whatever exercise or drill we do, I always want there to be a series that we can progress on top of that. Remember, this is all just part of our warm-up. Hey, real quick, please. Freeze. This is my mistake. So one turnover from coach side. When you get back, I want you guys to decelerate or come to a stop. Everything you do in the game of basketball ends with deceleration, so I don't want you to dribble back and just do some of this. Make sure we come to a full stop. All right, keep going. You guys are doing great. Excellent job. Okay, so now we're going to do a quick deceleration series. So what we'll use, let's just use this green line right here, this first green line. So you're going to put your left foot on the baseline, and we're going to go to the green line. I want you guys to extend the ball out straight in front of you. And you're going to defensive slide till you get to that green line. From a movement standpoint, when I was growing up, my coach taught me to defensive slide by step, slide, step, slide. And that's an old, ancient, archaic, inefficient way for the human body to move. We don't want to move with a step slide. A step slide actually means I'm using the groin muscle of my front leg to pull my hind leg. Not a very explosive way to move. What we want to train our players to do is what's called a push step. So I want them to push off of that back leg instead of pulling with the front leg. As far as basketball is concerned, the butt is the strongest muscle group in the human body. So we want to use our butt to drive our car from right to left. So when we're going to defensive slide to my left, I want to push off of my right. So that's what I want during our warm-up, especially for our players to be consciously aware of. See, we want them to be consciously aware of everything at first, and then through task-specific repetitions, thousands and thousands of task-specific repetitions, then it will become unconscious. Obviously, if you're in the middle of a game and you're defending and you have to consciously think to yourself, push off my right, I mean, the guy's already gone around you and scored a basket. I mean, that's not how you play. But if you do it enough times consciously in practice, then you'll rewire your body so that the only way you know how to move is by pushing off of that back foot. So right now, what we'll do, we're going to get some core work, some core stabilization, we're going to get some defensive sliding, we're going to hold the ball out in front. When I say go, you're going to push off of, in this case, your left leg, defensive slide till you get to here, and then I want you to freeze. I want you to freeze like a statue. I don't